Hello you, thank you very much for joining me. Well, you met Marcy, my cat, the other day. Now I do actually have another cat and I've decided it's kind of not fair if she doesn't get in the limelight. So, there she is, asleep on the bed there. I don't know if she's going to wake up, but she might, who knows. That is Tinkerbell. Her mother was a totally feral cat that my friend Sammy took in and looked after, and then she had kittens, and there is Tinkerbell, one of them. Marcy is her sister. They're from the same litter, but Marcy is kind of real cuddly tuxedo. This one here is really pretty wild character, actually. Anyway, readings today because it's full moon time. Okay, so as per usual, I'm going to say you can pick your own cards. Of course you can. Why ever not? Be your own psychic. That really is where it's at. Full moon is in Gemini and it's happening right about now as I'm actually making this video. Full moon November 2020. There's going to be a penumbral lunar eclipse, so you'll be able to kind of see some light shining through that. But there's going to be a total solar eclipse on the 14th of December. So really momentous things are happening, are they not? This full moon has got a lot of us more worried than usual about love, relationships, and actually money as well. Money, safety, security, all those root chakra issues. So Starman Tarot is what I'm going to be using today. This is a beautiful deck, actually. It's my favourite one for making videos with, just because it's so vivid and it's absolutely lovely, full of streaks of lightning, which, you know, is not selling the spirit realms short at all. They come into our lives like absolute bolts of lightning all the time, and we don't usually respond anything like enough. Maybe if we did, life would go more smoothly. I don't know about smoothly, actually, because that's not really what it's about, but I'm sure we'd kind of all be following our hearts a lot more and getting a lot more stuff done. Now, a card just fell out, and I'm not going to make this part of the reading because I did say pick a card and I've already waved it at you. This is the Six of Cups. Now then, it's really important that we aren't kind of coming from a place of, you know, living in the past. That's what the Six of Cups is really telling us here. Got to actually look for, you know, old sentimental things that we might be hanging on to that are getting in the way. Always, you know, leave the past in the past because it's always old news, but keep the lessons and the love. This is the case very often when we've been bereaved, when we've lost a person that we were very close to and they've passed on and gone to the other side. It becomes very difficult to adjust to life without that person. Believe me, I've been through it. I lost both my parents when I was really very young. And it took me a long time to just find that place in my heart where they can actually, you know, stay with me, and I can always remember them. And I have those beautiful memories to go back to and look at. But, you know, I try and leave the past in the past, but I remember the lessons they taught me, you know, and that is the constructive way to use the past. Bereavement is an extreme example, of course, but this can be kind of past relationships. It can be just something we used to like doing that we don't kind of get done anymore. I'm really trying to get this card so you can see it. They're very shiny, these ones. But you can see the portraits on the wall there. Very easy to get all bound up in kind of, you know, pictures that we've all got in our minds, in our imaginations of things, how they used to be, the way things used to be. We've got to move on from that. And the full moon is a real burst of energy that adds something to our ability to go forward. You know, it's a real kind of spark of, you know, let's take action, because there are full moons all the time. There's a full moon every month. This is a particularly powerful one, but we get several powerful ones in a year, you know. We're talking about eclipses. There have been 7 eclipses this year already. Well, there have been 6 already if you include the one that's happening today, which might have happened by the time you're watching this video. There's a 7th one coming up on December the 14th, so it's been very busy for eclipses. But the fact is, the cycle is always going on, you know. That side of things never changes. Excuse me. And so, you know, what we don't achieve this time, we can achieve next time. But there's a great spark of direction pushing us forward at this time. So 5 cards. Pick a number, my friends, from 1 to 5, and we'll have a look at some oracle cards to go with them at the end as well. Keepers of the Light by Kyle Gray. I'll bring some of these out. I might not ask you to pick a Keepers of the Light card, but you can if you want. You know, I'm not the tarot police. I'm not the oracle police or anything like that. And I wonder if Tinkerbell is going to come to life. You're going to come to. She sometimes comes to life for a biscuit. A biscuit, baby. I'll get a biscuit then. Look, nice jockey bickies. Want a bit? I think I'm going to have to spoon feed her. She is tired. She only comes in the house to sleep. Here we go. Look, do you want that, darling? Well, then you have that. I'm not going to have the rest of it myself just yet, because otherwise I'll completely mess up the reading by not being able to speak. But there is Tinkerbell. She's a real fighter, that one. Actually, you hear that the cat's kind of wow outside at night, really loud, and it's usually her having a fight with a much bigger cat. She's absolutely fearless, and we've all kind of got to be fearless, you know, and that's part of the message of the full moon, because the full moon is fearless. That energy is really powerful. You might have been having dreams, all kinds of stuff might have been going on. Might it not? But have you picked a card, or have you picked like 2 cards, 3 cards, 4 cards? Pick those numbers now before I start bringing the cards out, and that way you are being your own psychic. And that's what I like to bring out of people, that ability to be your own psychic, which we're actually born into this world with, every one of us. People like me who do this, we've trained that psychic instinct and trained it quite a lot, but you know, we can only train it with the help of the spirit realms, with things like moon energy, with, you know, some kind of spiritual energy that comes in there. She's finished her biscuit now. Okay. You going to come and say hello in front of the camera? Maybe later. No, she's going for a wander. There we are. She's having a good old stretch now. Right, so card number 1. Now, interestingly, and I didn't force this to happen, this just came out, it's number 18. It's the moon card. And look, we've got the man in the moon there. No two ways about the moon energy coming through in this one, and it is powerful. We've got these cat figures here as well. They're kind of very cat-like. If you look closely, they're anything but. They're kind of different, but there's something very cattish about them. And this is the thing about cats, you know. They know something. I don't know what it is, but they are definitely attuned in some psychic way, which is why they've always been so closely associated with magic. And if we ever get to understand what the Egyptians were up to when they were working with cat magic, which that they obviously were from their hieroglyphics, then we'll know something about what cats are tuning into, and that's going to be great, because that's going to do something for us as well. Now, as well as the catty kind of look of this, we've got people stretching their arms up, and each person, each of those 3 people, is in something that looks like kind of half a coffin, you know. So this is death of the old self, birth of the new, really. It's not the death card, but that's what this one's showing me at this time. Lightning streaks a bit in this card, but what's mostly here is, you know, straightforward turquoise blue light, speak your truth. And I'm glad I wore my turquoise top for this, actually, because it really works with it. But look at the man in the moon there, you know. He's making me think of maybe father figures, maybe male friends who are a bit older than us, who've gone on to the spirit world, and they're always looking down at us. I say that just because he's got that kind of Bill Haley and the Comets quiff there, and I'm probably dating myself by talking about him. But hey, I am what I am, you are what you are, it's always the case. Now, I was talking about Egyptian hieroglyphics, and there are some down the side of the card here. So, you know, the full moon energy is really something of a mystery, and this is why this card sometimes is talking about, you know, are you getting the right advice? Are you being guided by a false light? That's the traditional meaning of the moon card. And, you know, if you're being guided by something that you don't personally understand, that is definitely a risk. But at the same time, we've got to give ourselves up to what is mystic, because in any kind of spiritual world and any spiritual way of thinking, what is mystic is partly hidden, and it's our journey to actually sort of find out what it is, you know. Okay, so that's the moon at card number 1. Let's see what we've got for card number 2. It is number 11, justice. Now then, I don't know what the other 3 cards are going to be yet, but interesting that the first 2 are Major Arcana cards. I've been pulling Major Arcana cards quite randomly, and they've been coming out again and again since the moon energy started really building up and becoming obvious the last week or so, building up to full moon. So Justice. Now, it's been said that Justice is maybe the wrong name for this card, actually. Let's try looking at the other side of it for a change. Try and get a good shot of the card on camera there. It's been said that Justice is the wrong name for it. It's really about balance. So there's a lot of Libra energy built up in this, and Libra is actually the star sign that's associated with this card. So if you're a Libran and you pick this card, it's very, very close to you. If you've got Libra somewhere in your birth chart, that's what's worth looking into at this moment. And if you haven't had a birth chart yet, do get one done. You can get one absolutely free of charge from any of the main astrology websites. I will do one for you for a fee. When I do them, they're very, very deep. You get a full explanation of every planet and every asteroid. Email me the email address down there, 35and83@gmail.com, if you'd like me to do that for you. But anyway, you know, the Justice card, it's bringing things into balance. Now, the full moon energy sometimes feels too intense. I sometimes get a bit annoyed at kind of, I don't know, the angels or whoever it is up there, because I sometimes have mad dreams, and I wake up wishing I hadn't had those dreams. That's very often the case around full moon time. No getting away from it. But what happens then is the subconscious mind is actually trying to show us some kind of image, you know. We all have these images in the subconscious, and we bring them out into consciousness. I was saying this just a couple of videos ago, so I won't go on too much about that, because I'm sure you're in tune with that idea already. So number 11, Justice, it shows, you know, just the numerology of that is we're just moving on from the first number 10 of completion. Things are actually happening, progress is being made, and again there's a lot of turquoise in this card, kind of in flashes all over the place. There's darkness too, but the turquoise is really flashing there, and it's speaking your truth that needs to come into balance here. So, you know, speak it, because that is justice, actually. You know, we all come into this world with some kind of mission, and speaking your truth is really important, because that means you're actually getting on with what you were put on this earth to do. If people won't listen to it, well, there's nothing much you can do about that, unfortunately. But that's their problem, you know. You can take a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. When I started learning mediumship, one of the first things I was taught was you can't make people believe in the spirit world, and it's not my job or any medium's job as a medium to try and make people believe in it, you know. Spiritualism isn't a thing that, it's not like a religion where you're looking for converts and kind of change people's minds. People find us when they need to find us. People find, you know, YouTube vloggers like myself as well, and I find people like you when we need each other. That's how it always works in spiritual terms. So we're coming up to card number 3, and this is going to be the heart of the matter. And what have we got here? We've got Ace of Swords and Queen of Wands that both came out together. Okay, I keep pulling double cards as well. Now, for once, we haven't got Major Arcana, but we have got very, very powerful cards. The Ace of Swords is a real powerful card, because there's alchemy in all of the aces, you know. That's what being an ace is all about, isn't it? And it's sparking something off, it's starting something new, so it's playing into the kind of 10 plus 1 of the number 11 card that we just pulled, which was Justice. Being a sword card, it's air sign energy. Gemini, Libra and Aquarius. Well, it's a Gemini full moon that's going on right now as I'm recording this video, and we've had a lot of Libra energy showing up, particularly in the last card actually, and we've been talking about the need for balance. So again, a very fiery card, but there's lots and lots of gold in this card. There's also a lot of higher heart chakra pink as well. So looks like love could be a good thing. Love is, well, it's always a good thing, really, you know. It can become excessive, can love, but it's never a bad thing to actually have some of. But there's also something a bit like the sea going on down here. That's what the colours here are making me think of. And we do get that sea of emotions around matters of love, don't we? Could be a difficult thing, really, but Ace of Swords is alchemy. None of these things are born into being exactly in a really precise way. You know, it's different strokes for different folks. It always is. But the other card that came up with it is Queen of Wands. Now, Wands, fire sign energy, Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. So if you're one of those signs, that's very much for you. If you're not one of those signs, again, look for it in your birth chart. That'll give you a clear personal idea of what is actually going on for you. It's the Queen of Wands, though. Very feminine energy, the divine feminine, showing up very strongly in this card. And we've got a kind of a sunflower image up here. It's kind of a different colour, very fiery colour for a sunflower, really. But you do see sunflowers that colour every now and again. And as well as being beautiful, they give us sunflower seeds, one of the healthiest things that there is to actually eat. So think about that. You know, this is another gift of the full moon. It's bringing something healthy into being, but it's bringing it in a rather curious way. The divine feminine is indicated, though. We're always thinking about the man in the moon. Think about the woman in the moon. Maybe you're the woman in the moon. You know, and I mean, every man has got a bit of woman in them somewhere along the line. It's the nature of genetics, isn't it? You can either be XX or XY, but there's always some X involved in things. So we're all kind of part of each other. My screen has just gone blank. I've just got to put my password in again. Excuse me. Oh dear. Right, I hope that's brought us back into being. I'm really sorry about that. I didn't know my computer was going to do that. It's a new computer. And the screen goes blank if you don't do anything for 15 minutes. So I obviously have to sort of wave the mouse around a bit like that every now and again. So that was the heart of the matter. The Ace of Swords and the Queen of Cups. Taking the top one off again, we've got the Ace of Wands. Very powerful cards coming up today. Ace of Wands, pure alchemy, and this is saying get things done, okay? Now, it's card number 4. It's after the heart of the matter of this full moon reading, but it is all about progress, and it's very, very fiery progress, isn't it? So this is something that's coming down the pike, maybe very quickly. This is kind of the short-term future, the way 5-card spreads work. So if you picked all 5, that's the way this is going. If you just picked this one, no problem. But in any case, it's the Ace of Wands, it's alchemy again, fire sign energy, Leo, Sag and Aries, just like the Queen of Wands we had a minute ago. And look how fiery it is. Again, it's higher heart chakra pink. Again, we're seeing gold all over the place. I'm not seeing turquoise in this one at all, though. So this is all about kind of get it done. Don't worry too much about speaking your truth. Just make things happen. You should think about speaking your truth as well, but it's just that's not what this card is pointing at. And in the middle, the actual wand image we've got there looks like a bit like a bone in the camera to me. So we're really kind of thinking of the nitty-gritty, what actually keeps us standing up, what actually keeps us going in this world. That is a real good indication, actually, of what you should seek out in this world. Things that keep you going, things that you feel support you, are really important to actually dwell on. My screen is trying to go blank again, but I've just stopped it. There we are. I'm going to have to fix that. To go into the settings and do something about that, because that's going to be a pain in the neck. Anyway, we have got quite a lot of lightning flashes in this card, and we've got some straight lines as well. And there is actually a very strictly powerful axis going on between the two fixed stars, Antares and Aldebaran, at this time, at this full moon. It's all part of it. And there we've got the Eye of the Bull opposite the heart of... oh dear, I can't remember, and I haven't got my book in front of me, but it's a very powerful alignment anyway. So higher heart chakra pink there going on. Love is indicated, love is coming down the pike, and it's going to be fiery. And this is an important thing, you know, because in matters of love, it's very easy. Whether this is kind of a relationship love or just something you love doing, maybe family love. It's important to actually get things done. It's important to actually act on that impetus when it comes in. Okay, so this is bringing us now to card number 5, and we'll see what we've got for the 5th card, and it is the 5 of Pentacles. There we go, that works. So earth sign energy again, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So important, friends, to get yourself grounded when this card comes up. It's so important to get yourself grounded every day, really. Now, 5 of Pentacles is kind of you know, we're halfway through the journey. It's not looking like anything's immediately going to start getting us rich, or really we're going to have any immediate success here. But successes build on each other, and this is saying to me that success in terms of the big picture is only going to happen if you take care of the minor details as you're going along the way. It's not exactly the card of steady progress, that's more the Three of Pentacles, but we've moved on 2 steps from the Three of Pentacles, so it's going the right way, it's working, and we have to sort of focus in to see it. But if I just bring that up close to the camera there, it's not actually eyes, but it looks like eyes, it looks like a face. The human mind is very much attuned to seeing faces in things, so think of that, friends. You know, are you actually seeing things as they really are? Maybe, maybe not. But our loved ones and the angels and, you know, guardian angels, everyone really in the spirit realms is always watching us. We're always joined to the universe. And that really is where worldly success comes from, believe it or not. Spiritual success is all part of worldly success. We've got lots of purple in this card as well. So if something needs to heal, go ahead and heal it, friends. That purple colour is very close to the violet flame, the ninth ray, the purple ray of manifestation, I guess, and also of healing. If you're familiar with that, you'll know all about the Count of Saint Germain. He wasn't a Christian saint; he was the Count of Saint Germain. He was a real alchemist. He could do amazing things. He reincarnated several times, at least twice, as the Count of Saint Germain, and there's evidence for that. So, very amazing character. And just think of that purple in the last card there. And be aware of that need to tune into the violet flame, or just the colour purple, you know. Let it resonate in your heart. Before we go, I am going to do some Kyle Gray cards. I'm just going to pull 3 of these for a bit of extra kind of information. These are a lot like the Ascended Masters cards that I used the other day, and shout out to Sin, who loved those cards. I love them very much as well. It's one of the first decks I got. This is a more modern expression of that deck. It's very bright, very beautiful and very detailed, but it is a little bit different to the Doreen Virtue Ascended Masters, and goodness knows we've all moved on from the Doreen Virtue days. First card, turquoise colour again. I'm so glad I'm wearing turquoise today. Radha, Soul Flame, and it says rediscover a lost part of yourself. Experience relationship, harmony and healing. And she's just about summed up all of the 5 tarot cards in that message. Okie dokie, let's see what else we've got. Next card up is Diana. Divine Feminine all over the place here. Focused intention, and this is purple. This is that 9th ray. There's also turquoise there. It's so important to speak your truth, and that is really important in terms of making your intentions turn into something real and to actually happen. She says, think about what you desire, set your sights high, and expect the best possible outcome. Very, very powerful deity figure there. My beautiful cat is trying to get out the door now, so you might have to just excuse me for a second while I pull the door open. But that's life for you. It's taking my focus off things, and you've got to keep your focus on whatever your intention is. Make it happen. It's all about making things happen. Excuse me. Oh, okay, there you go, baby. She's gone. I'm going to miss her now, but I'm sure she'll be back soon because she'll want to go to sleep. So let's just pull one more card, and I'm reshuffling again to see what the last card is going to be in terms of the Kyle Gray Oracle card. Just stopping my tarot deck falling on the ground there. Do excuse me. Lord Shiva, Transcendence. Now there's a thing, and this has kind of been part of the message too with all of those tarot cards, but I've sort of missed this part of it. Transcendence, lifting yourself up above the voices that say no. Like an old song says, push aside those who whisper never in your ear. Because the things you really think you'll never be able to do, the things that seem beyond your wildest dreams that you really want but you don't think you can have, they're all part of that divine mission. So transcend, and it says, rise up, honour your inner force, steps are being given, dance with the universe. Steps are being given. That's an interesting one. We think about taking steps, but sometimes the steps we take are divinely given to us from that kind of higher realm perspective there. Okay, quick recap, as I always do. First card from the tarot that we had, card number 1, number 18, the moon. Beware of that false light, but also be aware of the spirit realms looking into our lives and wanting to help us. Then we had the Ace of Swords, I think, did we? Oh dear, I spilt the tarot cards and I can't remember what order they're in now. I'd better not get too closely involved with what order they came up in. But anyway, here's another card that came up. Ace of Swords, powerful alchemy, higher heart chakra pink, a sea of tears, but we're lifted above that. Okay, then we had, or I don't know if that was what came next because I've completely lost it now. But never mind. Number 11, Justice, major arcana. Starting a bit of a new journey, not a completely new journey, a new leg of the journey that we're already on. At some point, 2 cards came up together. Can't remember what they were. I'm really sorry. Okay, if I try and stop this and edit it now, I won't be able to because I'm on a new computer that I don't know how to use yet. So do bear with me. 5 of Pentacles. Okay, that was pretty close to the end. Get yourself grounded, earth sign energy there, and be aware that the divine forces are always looking down on us, and we can always call on them for help. You know, I used to sit in a spiritual circle. Few years I've often sat in spiritual circles, and I still do, but I used to sit in one in particular where the stuff that came through the medium the following week always showed that someone up there had been listening to the things we were talking about at the end of the circle the week before. So they're always listening. The all-seeing eye is always seeing. Ace of Wands came up as well. This really shows we can get things done. This really shows that the full moon energy is actually behind getting things done at the moment. Now, the full moon energy does get very intense and gives us all those crazy dreams. Pretty much every full moon I get some. I don't know about you. Let me know in the comments below about your dreams because it's always interesting. But if we actually do something with that full moon energy, then the conveyor belt of life keeps on moving, keeps on turning, and new experiences come along. So don't hoard the full moon energy. And the Queen of Wands as well. And it was the sunflower image I'm particularly drawn into in this, but we've got this kind of sky blue, the celestite blue of angels, and there's a wonderful angel crystal called celestite, well worth looking up, Celestite. I remembered it, didn't think I would for a minute there. But nourishment, nurturing, coming in the last sort of way we'd expect it, with that sunflower up there, the divine feminine everywhere, and it's Wands energy, it's fire sign energy, it's energy that says, get things done. Well, friends, that is it for today's reading. Thank you very much, everyone who's been watching. I'm really delighted to have met some new friends in recent times as well. I will be there's another subscriber giveaway going to be coming up next Sunday. This time, it's going to be a 3-card reading. I'll kind of vary this as we go along, but that seems to be the kind of thing that people would like. A private 3-card reading of your very own. So subscribe, tap that bell if you haven't yet. Tapping the bell means you don't miss anything because it gives you a choice, and you can either have all recommendations or personalised recommendations, or no recommendations if you just want to leave it random. Tap to get all notifications, okay, all recommendations, whatever they're called. I don't know, YouTube is always changing it, but tap that bell so you don't miss anything. That's what I'm saying. Meanwhile, have a fantastic time ahead, friends. Leave me a comment. It's always good to share the journey. It's always good to have a conversation with you guys. Thank you very much for looking in. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you again very soon. Peace. Now, how to switch off on this computer? There we go. Peace.